Okay, let me just go through the list one more time just to see if we have any other board members here. We only have 4 people here for the board, so we don't have a quorum. We have 8 people on the board, so we need one more person for a quorum. So we can get started with the meeting, but we won't be voting on anything tonight, it looks like, unless we have somebody else pop in. Okay, so I guess we will get started. The way that this meeting is set up tonight is a little bit different. It is available for the public to speak, but I'm going to just go over a few things and then we will get started here. I just want to thank you tonight for joining us. This meeting has been set up as a Zoom webinar. Michael Branley from the town of Swansea has offered to assist in the administration of the meeting, and I, Jody Turner, will be chairing. We will give everyone their chance to speak briefly. Please raise your hand using the menu. You'll see it on the right-hand side. Once recognized by the chair, please state your name and location, then bring your topic to the floor. We will be continuing the Cheshire TV regular board meeting that began on November 10th of 2020. Much of what remains is informational. However, when the board is entertaining a motion, please be respectful of others, state your piece, and give others a chance to speak as well. I would like to thank the board for their dedication to Cheshire TV. There is much you may not realize about the commitment of the board members. We are not a board that makes choices lightly. In the past 4 months, the board has followed the examples of our predecessors. We thank Lee Perkins for bringing many of these items to our attention. And while we may take time to think through our decisions before acting, this is the way that we feel that the board should be acting professionally. I can assure you that this is one of the most active boards that CTV has had, and this is a comment that was given to us by Tom Cook, our previous board chair. So we are going to get started. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 5:40 p.m. and we will get started with a roll call. So I believe the people that we have in this meeting are Christina, Steve Hooper, Dave Payson, Jody Turner, Nick Morton, and let me just go through the attendees just to make one more chance of anybody else that's supposed to be on here as a panelist. Okay. All right, so we are going to get started. We do not have a quorum, as I mentioned. We only have 4 people out of the 8 board members. We are going to get started. I think we probably will have to table going into, we can talk about the treasurer's report, but we don't have anybody or enough people to vote on that. We also tabled the special meeting minutes and the, let's see, the finance committee meeting minutes from November 10th. Those were tabled at the last meeting, so we won't be following those until the end of the meeting if we do have enough people for the quorum. So I guess we could go into the lease agreement. What I did want to let everybody know is that the lease did go up by $800 a month. This was something that I didn't know about. I was informed about this the night of the presentation that we were giving to the city of Keene. Apparently Mark Nelson did know about it, which is fine, but we just didn't realize it. And so we hadn't added that to the budget when we went to the city, but it has been added to the budget now. And when we do go over the budget, then we will talk about that, as well as the fact that now Cheshire TV is paying for heat as well. So those are things that, from what I understand from Andy Bohannon, that they were agreements that were made prior to Cheshire TV coming back over to the building that we're in now. So I just wanted to let everybody know that our budget did change. We're still with a strong budget, but it did cut it back down about $15,000. So it's just where we're at. All right. I think I'm going to start going into the operational updates. Nick Morton is here. Nick, could you take yourself off mute and maybe show your face?
Hi, Jody. I was in a Zoom call earlier and my camera wasn't working then either.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So Nick is our director of operations right now in the interim of having an executive director. We are doing a search for the executive director, but we needed to have somebody that knew the operations and could help the staff with any kinds of questions that they have. So Nick has stepped into that position. We're really glad to have him here. He had experience in high school. He went to Keene High and did a lot of programming there. He's also worked with the city and the school board, I believe, doing Zooms and meetings there as well. So Nick, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? And we'll go into things a little bit more at the next meeting, but I just wanted to have people know that you are on board.
Yeah, sure. So I started doing television production in high school, and I really fell in love with it. I started volunteering at Cheshire TV. I believe it was my freshman year, 2014, and I helped out with Pumpkin Fest, the last one, and I was hooked. So um, as soon as I could, I got into Cheshire TV volunteering, and pretty soon they made me a part timer. I was an intern through the Keene High Work-Based Learning Program. Um, and then I took a year to go off and do school. And when I came back, Cheshire TV, I was still a part timer. So I was really excited to help out at this point.
Excellent, excellent. So Nick has expressed a great interest in reaching out into the community. We are working on several projects, so we're really happy to see where Cheshire TV is going right now, because for a while we've been a little stagnant. So Nick, it's good to have you on board. I know that you guys did a project with Hannah Grimes tonight. That was wonderful. And there's a virtual tree lighting that the guys have been working on with the Keene Kiwanis Club, as well as some other nonprofits that we'll be working with in the area. Yes, Steve. Oh, Steve, I can't hear you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nick, welcome. This is Steve Hooper. Certainly, we're looking forward to working with you, and we thank you very much for stepping up. And I think it's really great that you are stepping out to the community already, as Jody has just mentioned. One of the things that I felt was very important, even 10 years ago, when I was very active all the way through till now, is the marketing and getting the community outreach. And Cheshire TV has done a good job in reaching the community, but I'm hoping that we can step this up even further. At this point, everything goes up and down, and we've been at sort of a lower period the last couple of years, and so this will be great that we can work forward towards that. So thank you again, Nick.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah. And so Nick has also talked about working with the high schools. He's talked with working with the Keene State College, as well as, we've got Franklin Pierce too. There's a couple of people from Franklin Pierce that are really interested in helping us out as well, that are part of their media program over there too. So the Keene YMCA, there's just a lot going on. And during these COVID times, I think it's really important for people to be communicating and staying in touch with each other. So thank you very much, Nick. And we'll be talking with you more.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Another item that I wanted to just mention is we have hired a firm. It's an HR firm called Aptiva. They're out of Brattleboro, Vermont, and they are helping us with our staff because we had some problems with some communications and things like that in the recent past. Not since we've come on, but before that. And we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And so we've been talking with them to try to figure out what needs to be done at Cheshire TV to make us the best possible station that we can be. We're also talking with them about the executive director search. We are on a schedule for that, and I'll talk more about that at the next meeting. one of their representatives, Karen, is going to be coming to the next meeting, so she will have something to say at that meeting as well, so you guys can ask any questions that you might have at that time. And then we're also going to review the handbook. I know that the handbook was written quite a while ago, and I'm sure that it's been updated. I know that we updated it over the time that I've been here, but there are some other things that probably need to be updated in that as well. We just want to get a good foundation started here again with Cheshire TV. When Lee was here, things were going pretty well. And because things hadn't changed for 15 years, they just happened. But as things change and life changes, and it's just the way things happen, sometimes we have to reevaluate things. So, we're going to be looking at the handbook. We're going to be looking at some of the bylaws just to make sure that what was established a while ago still works. And so we're not going to change any bylaws or anything, right now, but we do want to review them, and we want the membership to have input on that as well. So please don't think that just because we haven't been doing things with the members for years, that that's not what this board wants. We want membership input. Just one moment, and I'll get you, Christina. So I just want people to realize that this is a new board. We're looking to have strength and to have input and to make this a community station once again. All right, Christina.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of point out that this has turned into not really an official board meeting because
Right.
we don't have a quorum. It's really, we're staying on here for some informational purposes. I see a lot of things in the chat saying it's not really a meeting. So, I think the fact that we're willing to stay on and share some information, that it's not an official board meeting until we have a quorum. So we will have to reschedule. I just wanted to point that out. So,
yes, thank you, Christina. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I would love to get through this meeting and have everything voted on tonight and have our discussions, but we just don't have the quorum tonight. So if that changes, we will go back and get into some of the motions. The next item is the nexus, and there was some discussion, a long discussion. For over a year, we had a loaner nexus, and then the company came and contacted us and said, you guys have got to make a decision. So the board did make a decision. We did order the nexus. The nexus is in. And Nick, could you give us a little update on the nexus? Are you there, Nick? Okay, what I can tell you is the Nexus will be going in the next couple weeks. We've scheduled time with Access AV. They are going to be coming over and setting everything up. So Nick is working with them to get a timeline so that we can let the city know, let the community know, and make sure that we don't have any more downtime than we need to. Nick, are you still there or not?
Hi, Jody. I'm sorry.
Hi, Nick.
For a moment.
That's okay. Nick, do you have something else to put in on the Nexus?
Yeah, I've been in contact with Access AV. They said that it'll likely be early January. January 5th is our set date right now, only because they have to wait for some equipment to come in.
Okay. So is it things that we were supposed to order?
No, it's things that Access AV orders and brings with them.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because last time we talked, I was thinking that it was going to be December, but that's fine. I mean, at least it's happening. So it's been a long time in coming. All right. Nick, do you have anything else on the Nexus?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about the networking. There had been some complaints from our staff that we needed to be networked so that people had the ability to communicate. I think that's really important during these COVID times because without networking, we're not going to be able to share information. So with our team viewer and with the ability to communicate via electronics, this may be where we're going because we don't know where COVID is going to take us. So at this point, we are networked. Nick, do you have anything else to talk about for the networking? Nick?
Hi, I'm sorry. Can you repeat?
That's okay. I just wondered, do you have any updates on the networking that we have at Cheshire TV?
So I'm working with Alan. I'm going to speak with him next week to get it all sorted out.
Okay. All right. Very good. And I think that's it for the Nexus and the networking. the next item that I had on the operational updates was that we had 2 articles in the Keene Sentinel. Maya put in 2 articles. I hope that everybody has had a chance to read them. I had a rebuttal, a very short one. I don't feel like we have a lot that we need to say, but I also don't want to condemn anybody on information that may not be completely correct, but it is so noted. We are going to be, yes, Steve.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just on the article in the Sentinel, letter to the editor, I just wanted to echo that I feel that it's important, as you said in the letter to the editor, that we all need to work together to try to strengthen the board and also to strengthen the community networking, and also to strengthen the relationship with the membership, and also strengthen the relationship with the staff of Cheshire TV. All of this coming together as spokes in the wheel. Sometimes the wheel moves quickly, sometimes it doesn't move that quickly, but we're moving forward. And I would like to say, just not as one member, just say as one member, to please move forward in a positive sense for everybody. And this year, starting early this year, was the year of the pandemic. The city of Keene has had to be very patient with things that are happening within the council and the staff. It's a challenging year, and this is not the time for anyone, the city, the council, Cheshire TV, and the membership to not work together. We have to work together, especially in the year of the pandemic. I think anything less would not be responsible. So I am asking that everyone please try to work together. That's what I have to say in relationship to what you were saying so eloquently in your letter to the editor.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. We will be establishing a calendar. This is one of the things that I found when I first came on, is that there was a lot of surprises for me. Yes, apparently I was supposed to know all this stuff, but I didn't. And so we will be making up calendars so that we don't miss our deadlines. We were supposed to have a budget that was supposed to have been made up in June, and our executive director didn't leave until August, and we still didn't have a budget. But this year we will have a budget, and the election didn't occur in a timely basis either. And we were just going through a lot of stuff. And I know that that's not an excuse, but we were going through a lot of changes and weren't completely familiar with what the process was. So we do have the election going now. I will give you those dates again at the very end. And for anybody that has any questions right now, there will be a time for public input at the end. We don't have anything that we're voting on so far. So if you would like to give input at the very end, you're welcome to do that. Okay. All right, so we will have a calendar, and it's hard to believe, but we're already almost to December. So we're almost halfway through our year already. I think that's it for this so far. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, we're going to continue on. There is a petition that was signed by 5 individuals. This is a petition to remove board members. This petition was received on October 15th. We received another one on November 3rd, but we are going to go with the original petition that was received. We are going to be sending out an announcement tomorrow. The date that was set by the secretary, I already have that information. That is December 22nd of 2020. It will occur at 5:30 p.m. and the Zoom information will be on the email that is sent out tomorrow. Okay. I will take any questions that people have after we get through with this, but I did want to let everybody know that that date has been chosen and that we will have that Zoom happen then. Let's see. Is there any other business that people have that is new business at this point? Okay. One thing
No,
I did.
maybe.
Yes, Dave.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. One thing that I did want to just mention is I would like to talk with the board a little bit more about a relationship with the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. I think that would really help us to answer a lot of questions that we might have right now on ways to handle meetings and board activity and things like that. I would like to establish a search committee, but we don't have a quorum tonight, so we won't be setting that tonight as well. And I think that's it for so far. One thing I did want to remind people about is that the nominations for the vote for board officers is due by 11:25. So if anybody would like to nominate someone to become a board member, please do so by no later than November 25th. And I think that's it for now. If I've forgotten anything, please let me know. Michael, we will open the floor for public input. And if you could just tell me when you come onto the floor for public input, if you could tell me your name, where you're located, and then please give us the information that you'd like to share.
Thanks, Jody. So we'll go in order of folks who have had their hand up waiting patiently. So we'll start with Dave Kirkpatrick. So I'm going to allow you to talk now, Dave. You might have to unmute yourself. Yes, we can.
Okay, so in my point of view, we're not voting on anything. This is merely informational tonight. And the secretary can choose the date for the petition. So that, as far as I can see, is legal. We're recording it because we don't have a secretary this evening. Our secretary's mother is sick. It's really informational. It's really informational. It's a public session, but it's informational because we don't have a quorum, Dave. Yeah, we could either just stop the meeting and not do anything tonight, or we can share the information with the members and the public. Okay, I accept that. Thank you for bringing that up to our attention. Okay. And I don't, Dave, where are you? Where are you in Alstead, Ackworth? I can't remember where you're. It's Dave Kirkpatrick, and it's your location? Antrim. Okay. I'm just trying to do this because we're going to have to transcribe these, and so we'll have to remember all this stuff. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, Dave, so I'm going to disable you from talking, but if you'd like to get back in the queue, you can raise your hand again. So we'll next go to Vicky. Vicky, please state your name and your location.
Hi, this is Vicky from Gilsum. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me because our broadband is very sketchy.
Yeah,
so
we can hear you.
Nod, yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so first I'd like to offer that I am on the board of Right to Know New Hampshire. I am here to offer guidance if you ever need it as far as the laws. I can tell you this is an illegal meeting. It should have been stopped.
Okay.
Because you do not have a quorum. And if you want to talk amongst yourselves without a quorum, then you do that at a completely unscheduled time. This has been scheduled, this has been posted, so this meeting should not be taking place from a legal standpoint. And to continue on discussing your agenda during this illegal meeting just adds to some of the angst that comes with changes, and changes always have angst with them, no matter what changes are taking place. I've been a member now for 2 years, and I would like to see changes. I've seen some good changes so far, but I'd like to see more changes. I can tell you though, it was extremely frustrating, and I believe Michael is the one that is controlling the chat, so he has seen my hand up and down and my comments through this. And I'm sure that Michael has a grasp on my frustration on this just through those. With that said, I suggest that you end this meeting and you schedule a new meeting, because it is improper, it is illegal, and nothing good is going to come from holding an illegal meeting, whether intentional or unintentional.
Okay,
and
well,
I respect you're stepping up to the board, and I appreciate it. And I respect that it is a daunting task at times, but I do believe that as a public broadcasting company, you should be taking public opinion quite seriously. And I did not feel as though I was being taken seriously at this moment. And I can tell you, and just for a little bit of bio, this is not the only board I sit on. I am jumping on another Zoom meeting for an additional board. I'm on 2 other boards. So I do have some experience with boards, and I am here for your if you have any questions going forward. And I am putting my name in the hat for a board position, because I do not want to see violations like this take place in the future. And again, whether it's intentional or unintentional, and I imagine it's unintentional, as laws can be somewhat confusing to understand at times.
Right.
So I would just like to say that. And I feel as though I'm being cut off, and
No.
I see you're recording this. So I would also like to add that I did request the minutes of the last meeting, and they're not on the website, and I did not receive them. They should be posted within 5 days, which they weren't, so perhaps an oversight. This is being recorded, so even though it's an illegal meeting, I am actually requesting a copy of this, which must be made available tomorrow. But being an illegal meeting, you don't have to follow that guideline. But because you're continuing with the meeting, I'm still going to request a copy of this. So I assume that this should be up tomorrow. Am I correct?
Vicki, are you requesting a written copy, or are you requesting a video copy?
I'm requesting the video copy. I don't imagine you can write down.
Well, that's why I was trying to figure out, like, am I going to be up all night writing this up?
transcript.
Okay. All right. That's what I wondered. Yeah, it's not a problem at all. As you said, you know better than I do. We are just 1 moment, Steve. The reason that I'm doing this is because I want the membership to know what's going on at Cheshire TV. That's my only reason for doing it. We have nothing that we can vote on because we don't have a quorum. I wish that we did, so that we could handle a regular meeting tonight, but we don't have a quorum. So I don't know what else to do unless we just close down. And if that's what you're saying, then that's what we can do. But I was trying to be transparent myself. So Steve, did you have something you wanted to say? And can you take yourself off mute? Thank you.
Christina had her hand up first.
Okay.
So I will go after Christina.
Thank you very much, Steve. Christina?
Thank you, Steve, for yielding to me. I just wanted to point out the use of illegality being used consistently. We did say at the beginning that this was not going to be a board meeting. I think it was a courtesy to, it is public, it is transparent. We wanted to discuss some information. I understand what Vicki was saying, that if we wanted to get together as a board and have these discussions without members involved, that we would be able to do that. But I think it was a courtesy to have these other 12 attendees involved in just a general discussion of where we are at as a board. It is not a board meeting, so there's nothing illegal about it. If attendees, because we said it wasn't a board meeting, wanted to leave the meeting, they were certainly going to be welcome to do that. So, I think this is great information. It's been a few months since we've been able to actually have a discussion that wasn't consistently interrupted and so forth. And I do really appreciate this forum and the format here, it is very similar to city council meetings, which are open to the public, that there are attendees and the city council are panelists. So we acknowledge it's not a board meeting. We're not deliberating anything. We're not voting on anything. We just kind of invited the public and the members to stay while we discuss some of the operations that are going on at Cheshire TV.
So
thank
I would like
Thank
to
you, Steve, for
clarify.
yielding. I will mute myself now.
Yes, Vicky.
So I just want to clarify that. So because you advertise this as a board meeting and the Zoom number that is called in is the board meeting, this meeting is currently being held without following the guidelines of 91A. So in order to avoid that, you would need to end this meeting. And if two of you wanted to call one another on the phone and have a chat, then that's your business. You're not a quorum of the board. That doesn't violate the open meeting laws. But currently right now, because you are still operating under the public advertisement of the public meeting, that's where the problem lies.
Okay. Well, we expected that we would have a quorum, but we didn't. And so if we should cancel, then we will, and we can just, talk between ourselves. But I really want to see us be transparent and share information with the public. So we're already there. I'll talk with you, Steve, in just 1 second. I'll let you take the floor. Go ahead, Steve.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've been on the council for 5 years now, and I'm the first one to believe in following the right to know. I was also a member of a newspaper for almost 40 years. Right to know is extremely important to me. However, this is not an illegal meeting. You can have a discussion informally. You can even call a meeting to order without a quorum. This is simply to discuss topics informally. There are no votes. There are no formal decisions here. This is within the rights of New Hampshire law, and I respectfully disagree with any comments to the negative.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, Vicky, do you have anything else at this point? Okay, I guess Vicky's all set.
There I am. No.
Okay.
Nope, I got the option to unmute.
Okay. Yeah.
It is. So a meeting is defined as having a quorum. You don't have a quorum, so therefore it's not a meeting. It is simple as ending this, because you said you had I think 12 or 19 participants, and those 12 or 19 participants are being restricted from discussion. Therefore, it is now a meeting. You are controlling what is being said. It is very simple, and I urge this board to just end this meeting, reschedule one with a quorum, and go about it, because I can imagine that some of them, probably a majority of the 12 to 19 participants, are probably not too happy with the way that this is going. I may be wrong, but I do believe that there'll be quite a few people that are upset that this has continued with objections from the membership. I have to jump off shortly for another Zoom meeting, but I can tell you that when we do not have a quorum, whether it be the Board of Selectmen, the Planning Board, the Budget Committee, the Broadband Committee, or Right to Know New Hampshire, we do not hold a meeting and we end it immediately, because if it is scheduled and we are there and we continue discussing, we are carrying on as if it is a meeting. So it is, I urge you to check into those laws. And again, I have offered my guidance for the right to know I can, offer you even more. You can join us in our Zoom meeting on this Saturday as well and pose your questions there and get that panel's input on it. But I urge this board just to end this and call a proper meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Vicki. Dave, did you have something to say? We will be done with this in just a moment because we're almost through with everything that we wanted to talk about. It just means that I'll talk in a minute. Go ahead, Dave.
May I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay, I am not entirely sure of what all the legal parameters are or appropriate parameters are, but it seems like this is a very problematic gathering online. It's unfortunate we could not have a meeting on Tuesday. We don't have a quorum. Given the controversy that I'm hearing, I think we should just end this. All right. I don't feel comfortable. It is unfortunate. I don't want to exclude anyone who has any thing to say, but if this is not a proper meeting, or if it may not be a proper meeting, I would like to exercise the most caution possible, and let's just stop this.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dave, I think that we've gone over everything that we wanted to share with the public today anyway. So if we could have a motion to adjourn the meeting, we'll...
There's no meeting. We don't need a motion.
Okay.
There's
All
not
right.
a quorum. We don't need a motion. Don't do that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Christina?
I was going to agree with David, and actually not sure how to make a motion to adjourn if we're not really
We don't do
meeting.
that. We just say good night.
Yeah, we're just it's over. People are free to leave, and we can have the Zoom. We can have a discussion. If you want to set up a separate Zoom meeting that we just have a discussion,
right?
That would be fine as well. But yeah, I think it's time to be over, and hopefully we will establish another date for a board meeting.
Well, our next regular meeting is December 1st. So December 1st at 5:30, we'll have the information on our website for the Zoom. And I guess we're saying good night then.
Good night.
All right. Thank you for everybody that showed up. Thank you. Good night.